We are looking at 7C.2. And I can write the equation of a cubic function by identifying the transformations. So we have some vocabulary. Transformation, we've seen transformations before, right? It's just kind of changing really the placement, orientation, or what's the last one I'm looking for? Size. And so this, before we looked at like triangles or other shapes, and now we're looking at graphs. So the big things we have is we can translate a graph. So moves its position. Think about it shifting left or right, or up and down too. And a reflection is it flips over x-axis or y-axis. So we kind of just flip the graph all around. All right. This is not moving. There we go. So our parent graph is y equals x cubed. So that's a cubic function, right? It's the third. So then our standard graph is y equals a goes out in front. So we put x minus h cubed plus k. So I can place numbers in here, and it will change the graph. So if I have a number in A, what that does is it stretches or shrinks the graph vertically. If negative, it reflects over the x-axis. So we'll flip it or reflect it over the x-axis. H shifts the graph left/right. And the big thing about H is the sign changes. And you can see that in that our standard has the minus H. Okay, so if H is positive, it would say like -3, even though the H is positive. So be careful with that. And then K shifts up and down. Sign doesn't change. Okay, so these are two different things, right? This one the sign changes, this one it doesn't. So that's something to be very careful of. And again, it comes from the standard form where we're just subtracting this one but adding that one. Alright, so let's look at some examples. Example 1, it just says explain the transformation. So y equals negative x plus 4 cubed. So this is negative, technically that's -1. So what that negative is doing is it reflects over the x-axis. And then this 4, we're going to change the sign. So that's going to shift it left 4, and it's left because that sign is negative. And that's it. Looking at our next one, y equals 2, x plus 2 cubed minus 1. This 2 right in front is going to stretch vertically by 2. This 2 here, right, again, it's really -2, so it shifts left by 2, or shift left 2. And then this -1, we don't change the sign, so it's down 4, or not 4, down 1. All right, looking at our next one, y equals 1/3, x minus 3 cubed minus 2. This one's cubed, or well, 1/3. Instead of stretching, it's going to shrink vertically. And that's only because it's less than 1. So if you think about like you're multiplying everything by that number, you're like dilating it, it's getting smaller. Okay, so these stretches and shrinks are really like dilations of them. When it's less than 1, it's getting smaller. Changing our sign, that's really 3, so shift right 3. And then this 2 is shift down 2. And then example D, right, I have a -2 in front, so that's doing 2 things. It's stretching vertically by 2 because it has a factor of 2. Then it's also negative, so it reflects over that x-axis. So it can be both of those things. And we have the +3. Again, that changes to -3. So shift left 3. And then -1 shifts down 1. Alright, there's one more thing in this that that I want to cover that I forgot to like make an example for. So we're gonna do like 2 more, but they're gonna be quick ones. Okay. So if I have something like y equals x cubed plus 5, versus if I had something like y equals x. This 5 is on the outside of the cubed, right? The cubed happened and then it happened. So this is your k, it's shifting up and down. So this would be 5 shifts up 5. Over here, this 5 is before the cubed. Inside. It's inside parentheses. So that's going to change to -5. So this is shifting left. Okay, so these look very similar, but they are doing two different things. So just be careful with that. All right, go ahead, turn the page. Just a few last examples. Just two more examples that we want to look at. Okay, so write the equation with the given transformation. So A is left 11, vertical stretch by 5. So, again, y equals A times x minus h cubed plus k. Okay, so each of these tells us something else. Left 11 tells me h equals -11. Okay, and I can already change the sign then. That's going to be plus 11. Okay. Vertical stretch by 5 tells me A is going to be 5. I know nothing about K, so I don't have to worry about it. So then when I write this, y equals, well, I know my A is 5. My H, I'm going to add 11. Right? And I don't have to do anything with K, so I just don't even write it. It's really plus 0, but we don't have to worry about that. So y equals 5 times x plus 11 cubed. B, reflection over x-axis, vertical stretch by 5, up 4, left 2. So this is lots of directions for us. So again, y equals A, and then x minus h cubed plus k. So what am I given? Reflection over x-axis. A is negative, right? That's what that tells me. Vertical stretch by 5, A equals 5, right? Then we also have to add the negative, so that's going to be part of it. Up 4. K equals 4. We don't change the sign, right? It's up, so it's positive. Left 2. -2. H, we changed the sign to +2. Let me write this out. Y equals, A is 5, but it's also negative, so -5 times x minus. H is -2, so we make it +2. And then my K plus 4. And that's my equation there. So it's just a lot of substituting in the things that you're told. And that is it. All right, and I will see you guys tomorrow.